So here we are at the stove. I have this is the Canton cooking, and it's boiling. Those agar flakes are totally disappeared. So all I'm going to do is add our raspberries, add our strawberries, okay. Two don't want to go, I guess. And add our blueberries. And if these were frozen and they've just kind of thawed out. If these were fresh, I would add them right now. If these were hard rock frozen, I might give it a half of a minute in here or not. But that's all. Then I'm just going to shut this off. This has been cooking again, like I said, for about 10 minutes. Just stirred a little bit. And I'm going to just put it straight into our pan here. And I'm going to try to pour this actually. There we go. Wow. I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. Okay, so that's done. I'm just going to put that over there. Oops, I missed my sponge. But so here's our Canton. I hope you can, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It really looks yummy. I can imagine this even with some sliced banana in it or something. You know, whatever kind of jello you like to have, you can create with this. So this one's complete. This one's finished. So we'll just set that here. And now, oops, you know what? I'm going to keep that one going because we can finish off our pears on this flame right here too. These pears are done too. They're nice and soft if I would try them. Remember we had the apple juice, the pinch of salt, and the lemon and the lemon peel, and then the pears, and that's it. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take out a pear. This is just how I would serve it, right? Where am I going to put this extra one here? I'm just going to set that one right there for right now. That's all right. And I'm going to thicken our sauce. I've used kuzu before on the show, but I'll show you again. This is kuzu. This is a root starch. It's made from the plant kuzu. Kudzu is a relative that grows rampant in the south. But this is grown on volcanic ash soil, so it's really high in minerals. So again, you're getting minerals in your dessert. All you do is, I probably wouldn't need quite that much, but that's okay. Because if I have too much, I can just set it to the side and it'll dry out and I can use it next time. But I just add some water to it, and I always need to use my fingers to break it up, because if it's lumpy, or if those aren't broken up completely, then your sauce or our juice here would be lumpy. This is the same process that I use for making a gravy or thickening any kind of a stew. This is exactly what I do. Then I take a wooden spoon. It has to be lightly boiling, okay? And I just add a small amount, and it's going to thicken right away. Yep, it's nice and thick, and I want to stop right away so it doesn't get too thick. And I'm just hoping I didn't go too thick here, but it's okay. If ever you do make it way too thick, just add a little bit more lemon juice. So a little bit of lemon juice. Or if you're making a gravy or a stew of some kind, just a tad bit of vinegar, and that'll help to thin it out again a little bit. I need to let this cook just for a few minutes here so that it doesn't taste starchy for the dessert. But now I can shut that one off. Well, I'll just keep that flame going because it's so nice for the camera to use it. And where's my ladle? Here's my ladle. I should move these things aside. And so all I do is I pour this over. This lemon sauce will knock your socks off here. It is so yummy. I just poured the lemon sauce right over the top there, and I would grab a couple. If I had fresh raspberries, this would be a lot prettier. But I just grab a couple of raspberries, and I put them right here in the hole. You could use blueberries, you could use whatever you wanted. And I was also thinking, I forgot to get mint, but a little mint leaf right there coming out of the hole is kind of pretty, kind of cute. So it's quick dessert, really easy to do. Our last thing that we need to do here, our last dessert at the stove, is our Rice Krispie treats. I've got kuzu on my hand, but that's okay. So what we do is equal parts of tahini. Remember the sesame butter that I showed you before? Just put that in here. This is an almost instant dessert. On the package, they say to just mix it together with the peanut butter, remember? And you don't even have to cook it. But I like to cook this tahini because it makes the oil easier to digest. I just like it better. Might have to crank up my flame a little bit here. And here's my rice syrup. So this calls for 1/2 cup of tahini. Here's 1/2 cup of rice syrup, so it's just equal parts of, oh, I said I was going to use maple syrup, didn't I? That's okay. You can substitute back and forth. It doesn't matter. Either the maple syrup or the rice syrup. The maple syrup would make it a little bit sweeter. Did you know that it takes something like 40 gallons of maple sap to cook down to 1 gallon of maple syrup? So you know that it's a pretty concentrated sweetener. Equal parts of tahini and rice syrup, tiny pinch of sea salt, just a tiny little pinch of that. Let's see what I need to do. I need to get this cooking a little bit here. Usually I like to have that. It's going to boil up here in just a minute. There, it's starting to bubble. This is real pretty. Kind of looks like, what's that? Halva. You know, there's that sesame seed dessert that you people make. So here it's coming up to a boil. If I would let this really, really bubble, these Rice Krispie treats would be really hard and really crunchy. So I don't, if you want them really hard and really crunchy, just let it bubble a lot more. Cook that rice syrup in. But I like mine a little bit softer. Okay. You can kind of hear it cooking there on the bottom. Now I'm just going to add my Rice Krispies. I need two cups of these. This is the easiest dessert. 2 cups of these. I'm adding a cup of chopped pecans. These are lightly roasted. I like to use a cast iron skillet and no oil or anything. And I just put that cast iron skillet on the flame and kept them moving a little bit, and I toasted them up quickly. Mix those in. We could even add some of those carob chips that I showed you. Now I'm going to shut this one off. Okay. Shut that off. Mix that together. I have 2 more things here. I'm going to add, whoops, I just bought this cinnamon and I forgot to take off the plastic thing here. You can tell I make a lot of these. I'm out of cinnamon in my house. I should measure this, but it's just supposed to be a dash of cinnamon. And then a teaspoon of vanilla. I could have added the vanilla. I probably should have added the vanilla when I just had my liquid in, but it doesn't matter. Just going to mix it all up. The pecans really add a nice little flavor here. And that's all finished. And I'm kind of running out of room here, but I guess I'll just put this one on top of here. It might work. And I'm just going to pour these into this pan, and they're going to set. Soak my skillet a little bit, and that'll come off real easily. You know, when you're cooking with vegetable quality foods, like the tahini and the rice syrup, your pots and pans really clean up really easily. It's really not a problem ever. They just soak up, never have to scour them or anything. So here's my rice syrup. And my Rice Krispies, what I could have done is just let that cool a little bit and made it into little balls or little shapes or whatever. But that's it. Okay. So here are our desserts. Here's our Canton. This was poured into this pan before I did it before the show so that it would set really nicely. So I could show you. You can see how nice and firm it is. And then what I did is I had poured some in another. I had a little extra, so I'd pour some in here, and I blended it. And I just blended it just really quickly, poured it out. And now I've got this pudding. I've got this beautiful fruit pudding, this blueberry, raspberry, strawberry pudding. So if you can see that this is like limitless what we could do with this, I might make it one of these desserts with just lemon or maybe just blueberries. Or, you know what, I forgot to tell you too. you see how nice this set in this pan? What you can even do is pre-bake a pie crust. Have a pre-baked pie crust, and then pour this Canton into your pie, and then you've got a lemon pie, or a blueberry pie, or banana pie, you know, all by using this type, or pumpkin pie, same thing, squash cooked up the same way. And then you've got a pie made out of this Canton mixture, okay? You can layer them in different layers and different cups and make beautiful things. Here's our pear with raspberries and lemon sauce. And remember that mint leaf when you are doing it at home for guests. It adds a really nice flavor. And if you have fresh raspberries, they're a little bit brighter in their color when you put them in the middle there. And here are our Rice Krispie treats. They look so yummy. These also could have been made up into little balls, like I said before, or little shapes. You know, they're really great for the kids to just have fun with. So that's the end of our show. Hope you came away with some great ideas for some new recipes for desserts. And just remember to chew your food before you eat it. Remember to say a quick prayer before you eat anything. And that's all for now. Thanks for joining me.